to the tree. They strung up a man, they say who murdered three. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where the dead man called out for his love to flee? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man, they say who murdered three. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? The dead man called out for his love to flee. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man, they say who murdered three. Strange things did happen here, no stranger would it be if we met.
Evening YouTube, hope everyone's good. So obviously I've ran a couple of premieres today. There'll be another one this evening. I've got quite a backlog, to be honest, and then I've got mad ads like fucking KTV mithering for me to air this, air that. It comes down to how relevant these people are or are not. Now, even people like Jordan M or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, it'd be fun to expose him and whatever. He knows it's coming. Do you know what I mean? He knows full well it's coming. But there's no rush. These people are not relevant. So it does kind of have to go in a certain order of relevance. Now, as you will see, and as you will have already seen in previous premieres that I've put out or whatever, a certain wonky group or whatever, well, it's not even just a certain wonky group, it seems to be wonky cunts left, right and centre, quite happy to chuck each other's details out, each other's family's details out, random names, random addresses. Do you know what I mean? It's like, these people have got no foresight, realistically. I mean, look at that with Sean. That could have turned really messy or whatever. They push him up front, they spoon feed him shit to fucking read out and whatever. Cause a load of problems to the point where you end up with me at your fucking door. Now, that's not that's not a fucking good idea for anybody. For those that know, you know. It's that simple. Do you know what I mean? The amount of people, realistically, that once I get onto it or whatever, once I get pulled into it and involved and whatever, I'll make these fucking wankers disappear. And this has already been shown across the board or whatever. There is no like redo or whatever. Once you've crossed that line, you've crossed that line. And for the people that your details are now out for everyone to see or whatever, it's not really going to end well, is it, realistically? Now, like I say, many people have put names, addresses, all sorts of shit out, which their intention is to endanger people's family, individuals, their family members, dox their jobs, lose people their jobs, etc. We've seen it all across the board, and obviously no lessons have been learned by any of them, because they're all still doing it. Do you know what I mean? Now, I've never doxed anybody. I believe that if you fight the battle on the moral battlefield, do you know what I mean? You're always going to win the important people over, which is the people that don't want to have anything to do with these little rats that run around doxing each other. Not being funny, but who's done the worst damage to Jupiter? And who's done the worst damage to Wendy? Who's done the most damage, realistically? Have they not damaged each other the most out of everybody around? I think they have. All running around with fucking bullshit information and trying to dig each other's families out and bring danger. Do you know what I mean? Bring danger to people's family homes and whatever. Now, for me, I've always been very anti that or whatever. It's one of them, innit? I could go round to Sean's pissed off and think, open the door, you little rat. Chuck a brick through the window. For all I know, you could have a fucking bird there with a baby or something. And now the next thing, you've got a baby stuck with a fucking brick in the brain or something. People have got no foresight. People have got no fucking grasp of reality or whatever. Shit happens. For the people that fucking know or whatever, for the people that disappeared around certain situations or whatever, they know full well. It could have gone very badly. It could have gone very badly indeed. Once you've got a couple of cars full of people come looking for you, it's not going to end well, realistically. It will only go one of two ways. Either it stops here and it stops today, or, well, I'm not going to go into the other option, but it doesn't end well, let's put it that way. So, for the people that are now doing what they're doing, chatting shit, whatever, running about with names, running about with addresses and all this, you just literally highlighting to everybody else that you are dangerous fucking people or whatever. You never know what's going to come off the back of any of the fucking nonsense you chuck about the internet. Now, I've been given many accounts. I'm not even allowed on Facebook or whatever. All the, what is it, EMI numbers or IMI, fuck knows what. But either way, the actual devices get blocked, so it's not even a thing of changing names and this, that and the other. I've been, you know what I mean, my loyal supporters, loyal subscribers and whatever from back in the day, seeing how many accounts I was losing. Do you know what I mean? I could lose 2 accounts in a week. I've lost 2 accounts in a day. So it's one of them, innit? When you fucking dealing in nothing but the truth, the facts, and backed up with the evidence, you will piss a lot of people off. It's inevitable. If you're out here to make friends and whatever, don't deal in the truth, the facts, and the evidence, because you get a lot of people pretty pissed off, and they'll group up in little sad little groups and take channels down and whatever. Like Jupiter's admitted only 3 weeks ago to sitting in a private group, taking people's videos and channels down. She's admitted it openly. Now that's just a rerun of Wake Up UK. They used to do the same shit, as exposed by Glenn Zaffer on my other channel, Rude Awakening. Now, apart from Rude Awakening, Mr. Rick 0161 and Den Tarragon one, all the other names that have gone by, whether it be fucking hell, what was it, Joshua Bible, Justin Time, spelt T-Y, yeah, I can't even think of half of the mad names, but people used to just make up a name, make up an account and sign it to me or whatever, and they always say the same thing, oh, you can put, you know, change the name to whatever you want or whatever, unless I specifically ask someone, can you put it as Den Tarragon or whatever. They would just make up whatever fucking mad name they wanted to make up. Now, there's so many people that are actually aware of this or whatever. They're like the people that never comment, whatever, that sit back watching this unfold, and I'll be honest, do you know what I mean? This is now like to the point where you can prove, depending what person's running about with what name or whatever, you can literally prove where they're getting their information from, which is very helpful. I mean, people laugh at Kaylee's Wall or whatever with a load of names on it or whatever. I could, well, I'm not even going to bother going down that road. It is what it is, and it will become relevant when it needs to be relevant or whatever. But once you put all these things on a wall to investigate or whatever, and you look through it all and you can see all the ties to from one thing to another and all that, it paints a very eye-opening picture, and it will be used as educational purposes to show people that matter in the near future how infiltration actually goes on, how it works, the levels that the people will go to and whatever in order to silence decent people. Now, there's been many people silenced. Not everyone wants to stick around and have all the shit aired, and you know, whatever they can do to shit on people and dox people and lose people the jobs and whatever. There's no shortage of evidence of all this, and when you stand back and look at it all and identify where all the problems start and who it starts with and who's always involved in the middle, it's a very eye-opening picture. Now, like I say, do you know what I mean? Half of these people around or whatever will go on to live as an example of the shit things that have gone on, the means that they will use against you and whatever, and the reasoning behind that. Realistically, when you've got these people around that are literally fucking just chatting the amount of shit, pretending to be one thing but actually being the polar opposite of that, do you know what I mean? You can only get away with that shit for so long before you put it all together and you think, well, everything you've said from start to finish makes no sense to nobody. It doesn't resemble your original story or your original bullshit. It just doesn't resemble it anymore. Now, that only happens when you keep having to move the goalposts and change your story and think, oh well, this has just been brought out, so now we'll have to tweak it a bit and this, that and the other. You do that for long enough and it no longer resembles anything that he was originally trying to make out to be. Now look at Wendy Wu. You fucking beeping, aren't you, weirdo? My bitch. Yeah, look at Wendy Wu. She'll make out this, that and the other. Wendy Wu is a troll of Brian Harvey for 7 years. Let that sink in first, realistically, and then look at all the other ties around Wendy Wu, people like Danny Jones. Now, when you start looking at these things for what they are and what they're tied to and how they've got a common ground and whatever, look at the lies that they've had to tell and all this shit. Do you know what I mean? It's mad. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Brian Hurl or whatever, but a lot of stuff that Brian Hurl has said is actually factually correct, shockingly as it is. These things have been looked at, examined along the way and whatever, and to be fair, Brian Hurl has actually fucking, whether it's purposely or not, I don't know, but he has actually sort of like spelt things out along the way with certain things, and there is fact to it. Now, people like Wake Up UK has been very dishonest from day one. Wake Up UK, the doxing centre for Hope Not Hate, that gives out third-party information of many people to then dox them and send social fucking services and whatever into people's families' lives. You name it, they've done it to go after people's jobs, etc. And he's been bold enough to admit it. Do you know what I mean? It's like anybody, and I do mean anybody, that's okay with all this madness, you are suspect as fuck. You are the most highly suspicious characters on YouTube right now. It's one of them. Anyone can not know at the time, but once you know, you know. At that point, you make your own fucking bed or whatever. Once you've made it, you get to lie in it. It is that simple. Now, for people like Danny Roscoe to have green-lighted half of this shit or whatever and sort of vouched for it to other communities, it's only Danny Roscoe that's got to explain the shit down the road. You don't have to explain it to me. For me, he's showing his true colours. I couldn't give a fuck one way or the other what he does. For me, he's wonker. It is that simple. You can't look at it any other way and think, well, you know, there's a reasonable reason for why he's let all these Hope Not Hate rats into the mix. There isn't a good reason, is there? So there's only him that's got to explain that. I couldn't give a fuck. I really couldn't give a fuck. Now, as we will see over other premieres to come or whatever, the site that Eric's crap bitch, Hope Not Hate rat or whatever put together, the site that's got like pretty much anyone that spoke out on anything or whatever, especially if you go against the Danny Jones fucking narrative or whatever. Your family members will be on there. Jupiter's whole family members are on that fucking site or whatever, making out they're all paedophiles, they're all nonsense, they're all woman beaters, you name it, they're on there or whatever. But that won't stop Jupiter dipping into that bucket to pull out pointless cut and shut videos to try and make you look bad. So it is a proper mess or whatever. For people that are like just been around this shit a couple of years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years or whatever, they haven't got a clue. There's no way in the world they're going to be able to absorb all the shit that's gone on in the past. And all these premieres that I'm putting forward, I'm hoping will be helping at least some people. And that's all you can do realistically. Yeah, that is pretty much all you can do. Now, that website that Eric put together and whatever, bear in mind, you've had Eric, you've had AJ and whatever, putting out names, addresses, pictures of people's family members, offering money, cash reward for details, addresses, car registrations, you name it, whatever. These people put money down on it or whatever, which is incitement, do you know what I mean? There's so many fucking criminal acts around all what these wankers have been doing, and for all this time they've been getting away with it. I mean, Eric thought he was clever as fuck doing all this mad shit until his address got made public. Now, like I've said to people, do you know what I mean? I'm not about doxing or whatever. That's why I kept putting comments saying, oh, you'll need a mini digger to fucking dig you out of all these fucking holes you keep digging and dig yourself out, sort of thing. The amount of comments I kept putting, 360 excavator, blah blah blah, you name it. It was just digger comments for months and months and months before Eric's address and details and Mrs. details and even the children was put out. Now, I've not done any of that or whatever. Like I've said, I'm against doxing. I knew it was going to come out. So at that point, it is what it is. That guy's got so many enemies now. All you have to do is look at his site or whatever, and you can weigh up how many enemies that he's actually got. Now, anything could happen to Eric. Anything could happen to Eric. And what they're going to do, just look at what all these people that he's pissed off for years or whatever. All these people that he's tried to dox and endanger their family members, the children, etc. Who's going to give a fuck about anything realistically to do with that fat cunt? Nobody's going to give a single fuck. So, yeah. It is what it is. It is what it is. Now, for me personally, I did tell people straight a long time ago or whatever, I would take you to task. I'm a very, very patient guy or whatever. I sat on the evidence. Of who was running Tommy's site or whatever for 2.5 years. I just thought, no, we'll see where it goes. We'll see what people do and say, well, where we are. Do you know what I mean? At that point, yeah, bam, there you go. What do you think of that? It is what it is. In this game, you have to be patient. You really do. Nothing really happens overnight. And if you react to things that happen overnight, it's not really hard to figure out who's done this or who's done that. You've got to be patient. Got to play the game. I keep saying this over and over and over again. This is chess. It is not checkers. Some people are playing checkers and thinking that they're the one or whatever. Very short-lived. Very short-lived. Realistically, who have I gone against that I've not absolutely fucking destroyed? Realistically. Every single one of them's been given the opportunity to not be that person, not be that cunt or whatever. You know, anyone could have been manipulated or, in Jupiter's case, blackmailed. So at that point, you give them a bit of fucking opportunity to right their wrongs, etc. And by doing so, it gives them the option to show you their true colours. Now, when they've done that, and they've proven over and over that that's what they're about, they're a shit cunt, whatever, there is nobody, as far as I'm concerned, which is going to give a flying fuck whatever comes their way. Do you know what I mean? Karma can be a nasty bitch when she wants to be. Now, again, when Wake Up UK partially doxed my children's address or whatever, and then I threatened to bite his nose off or whatever, he literally went crying to the police like a little shitbag. And the letter I got, bear in mind, there was no ties to me at that address or whatever. They was dealing with whatever they'd been told from this wanker, Wake Up UK. I got a letter addressed Dear Rick. Now, how many people have seen that letter? Realistically, is it normal protocol to get a letter from the police saying Dear Rick? It doesn't sit right for me. I've had many letters in the past or whatever. That's why I didn't even believe it. If people remember, when I spoke to the copper, I just laughed it off. I literally thought it was Kayla. It had the same accent because it was from Essex Police or whatever, and it just sounded like Kayla. So I just laughed it off. I didn't even take it serious. Now, because I know the law and I know how things work, I just let it run its course. Didn't make no further contact. Didn't give two fucks either way. Carried on doing exactly what I was doing before he phoned the police. And all that happened realistically is I ended up with his actual name. So I'm happy to play this game all fucking day long. I couldn't give a fuck. None of you wankers have my name. There's so many patriots around it, proper patriots that I've known for years or whatever. They all know my name. You know what I mean? Loads of them. I see on a fucking regular basis or whatever. They come round to my house. I've told you all, I've got a well-known patriot that lives next door to me at the end of the day, and everybody knows my name, but yet nobody's chucked my name in the mix. That should really tell you all you need to know. Do you know what I mean? Now, whether people like it or not, I've got respect across this movement. It don't matter which corner of it you go to or whatever, which fucking group, which movement. I've got nothing but respect across the movement. I can join anybody at any point in time without having to jump through hoops or get vouched for or whatever. I'm in a position where I can vouch for people. It is that simple. Now, people like Jupiter about, oh, I've been loads of rallies. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. You even got the simps trying to back her up, saying, oh, I've seen videos. No, you haven't. No, you haven't. Put them forward then. Do you know what I mean? Jupiter's been to one demo. She turned up for a photo, a quick video or whatever, stayed for an hour and fucked off. Jupiter's been to no rallies. We're not going to count the one where a son was in prison. I'm sorry, but we're not. Just because Tommy was in prison at the same time, nah, we're not counting that. You've just been to visit your son and then realised there's a demo on when you've come out or whatever. We're not going to count that. And there is no others. There ain't anything. She's been to Speaker's Corner. Wow, big wow. Now, these frauds, these fucking fake tricks and whatever, they're 10 a penny. They are literally 10 a penny. I've seen so many arrive and so many fucking disappear with the tail between the legs and whatever. It's unbelievable. Now, all you have to do is stand back and weigh up. Look at all the people that they've attacked. Look at all the people they've built shit hate campaigns on based on bullshit. They made Danny Tomo a fucking nonce and a paedophile. They made Danny Roscoe a fucking woman beater and a terrorist, to the point where he ended up with Prevent at his house questioning his fucking children. And he knows full well that come from Moon, fucking Jupiter's mate, Moon, Jupiter's co-pilot or whatever, going on the mad one, reporting everyone to Prevent and Hope Not Hate, and then Jupiter's come out with a lie going, oh, she didn't say that actually. It's like, yes she did, we've all got it on video, we've all heard it, we've all pushed it around the internet. What the fuck are you talking about? Trying to remix shit when people are literally in receipt of the evidence. These people will argue that black's white and white's black. They'll argue that point all day long. They don't actually care how ridiculous they look doing it and saying it, because realistically they're only entertaining these fucking brain dead simps around them, which are too scared to ask anything or confront her with fuck all. The only people that have ever put it on her or whatever is Irish and Danny Double I. They're the only people that have ever actually fucking pulled her on anything. I think Eyes might have on something as well, if I remember rightly. That's 3 people out of the little group of people that she's got around her or whatever. Now, just the fact that she's been around for all, fucking 6, going on 7 years maybe or something. Imagine being around for all that time, being in all these communities that she's been like allowed into and then booted out and hated by 95% of that community or whatever. That's across the board. She's done it from far right to fucking far left to everything in between or whatever. And she can only scrape together the amount of subs that she's got. Now, she's never lost the channel. I've never even known her have a strike or whatever. Do you know what I mean? These are the people doing the strikes, losing people's channels, not the other way around. So, when you stand back and look at it all, it's like, the numbers itself tells you everything you need to know. Anyone that's been around continuously on the same channel for 6 years or more or whatever, Do you know what I mean? You'd expect to have a decent following. There's people, I mean, look at Dave, he did a channel, he'd made a channel about, was it a year ago or something like that? It's got 100,000. Do you know what I mean? And Jupiter's still on like baby steps or whatever, spitting baby food all over people. It's just madness. Now, if Jupiter was a decent person and had decent people around her and whatever, she would also have like 100,000 people following her and, you know, supporting her and whatever. The fact that she hasn't tells you all you need to know. Same with Wendy. Now, when I first encountered these groups, I came with a message, a warning. Certain people that have now infiltrated your groups, these are the things that they will try and get you to say and do. And it'll just destroy things from within or whatever. Now, some people took the warning, some people ignored the warning, and some people worked hand in hand with the people that are pointed out. And we are where we are right now, where all these people realistically have highlighted themselves to you. You can see the way that these people work with each other and cover for each other, lie for each other. Do you know what I mean? I could get on with someone like a house on fire or whatever. What, you think I'm going to start lying for him? No. Do you think I'm going to cover for him when they've been involved with Hope Not Hate? No. I don't think so. But for these people, that's normal. That is actually normal. So, it's one of them, innit? How relevant are the people in these groups, in these little damp corners of YouTube, realistically? There's maybe a couple in each group that could be useful in the near future, etc. People like Luke that started off as not political, not this, that and the other, just a banter channel. Now look at him, do you know what I mean? He'll hold his own with most people. I've never seen anyone go against Luke on a political thing and whatever and end up coming off better off or whatever. Luke seems to pretty much destroy him. So there will always be, you know, something good to come from something shit. I've said that from day one. And when I've entered these groups and whatever, and I've said at least 90% of the people around will be no use to no cunt. Just trolls, drama queens, drama students, fucking... Do you know what I mean? People like that, they're no good to anybody. They're no use to anybody. Leave them doing what they're doing. Triller come out the other end or whatever, and he's holding his own and he's having good, honest, open discussions, getting the right people on, people like Becca, people like Buddha. Keep doing what you're doing, do you know what I mean? There's always been something else needed to be built, because there's not a box for everybody to fit into. So if you've got a multicultural family and whatever, you're not going to fit in the boxes provided we have to make our own box or whatever. Now, I'm not suggesting we all put ourselves in a box, but do you know what I mean? There needs to be a different environment, which has not presently been an environment for people of, you know, different races, different ethnicities, whatever. But you all agree on certain things. There's never really been anywhere for you to all kind of congregate and bounce ideas off each other and look to solutions, resolve, preventive measures, how you can take the government to task or whatever. And I think when we get that together and we can start building some unity, that is realistically where anybody decent will put their time and effort into. The people that are happy doing the daily doxings and doxing each other's shit and trying to get everyone the sack and kids took off them and all that, leave these people to the fucking gutter. Do you know what I mean? Let them eat each other. That is the best course of action for these rats. Do you know what I mean? That one that I've heard today or whatever shows you. People was laughing in the comments saying, "Are all these people back friends now?" It's like, yep. It's tragic, man. It is proper tragic, but this is it. This is all these people do and all they've ever done. So yeah, bit of a mad one. Now, like I say, I'm going to continue to bury Wendy, which exposes Jupiter's bullshit, exposes Wendy's bullshit, highlights how stupid Danny Roscoe is. And I guess once I've dealt with that situation or whatever, I'll move forward to other people on my radar, and eventually we'll get to the backlog. People like Jordan M or whatever, people like fucking Katie Boyle or whatever. Oh, I shouldn't have said her name, but Katie B, let's call her. Do you know what I mean? We can move forward to highlighting what these people are about and what they've been involved in and the lies they've told and how they've tried to manipulate people into believing one thing when it's just not true. It is that simple. Now, there is plenty of good people online, there is plenty of good people in the movement as a whole or whatever. A lot of people are sick of the bullshit. A lot of people have come away for their own reasons and whatever. Now, the reason they joined the movement doesn't disappear. Do you know what I mean? They're looking for something new, they're looking for something that works, they're looking for something that's actually going to resolve things, fucking figure things out as to what we can actually do once we've got people that are unified in numbers. And do you know what I mean? The decent people will come back around certain things or whatever. These things take time. And the wrong uns, the grifters, the doxers and whatever, just let them do what they're doing. You know, we can throw shit at them and expose them and whatever. It's never a bad thing. The thing is, you've always got a fresh supply of useful idiots that are just waking up and you think, oh, this sounds great, this Wake Up UK. Until you realise they're not waking anybody up. They're protecting fucking known wrong-uns, people like Eddie. Eddie is okay, that was part of the Black Panther shite and all that. While pushing treasonous plots and scams, trying to target veterans and manipulate veterans to doing madness, storming Parliament, etc. Based on Billy bullshit, based on a scrapbook from a mentally ill scammer, prolific scammer of 20 years. Do you know what I mean? And then you've got dumbasses like Jupiter going, oh, I think Eddie's okay. Okay then, you would do. You're a fucking wronging yourself. Now, like I say, when you've built all this up and you've got all the information put aside and whatever, and you can actually show from point A to point B to point C and so on how these things happen, where the information comes from, how they're harvesting the information, the sites they've used, the lies that have been told, the people that have been attacked and whatever. It all shows you a bigger pattern, realistically, and all of this will be used in the near future. Now, once people realised that it was Eric's site and his details was now out and he was now liable, keyword liable, they decided it was a good idea to sit on Wendy Woo's fucking platform and discuss the changing hands of the site from Eric, who has a rather large business, to AJ Tyler, the dog beater, who has nothing. So they think by swapping hands and doing it publicly changes anything or whatever. Now, life doesn't work like that. Oh man, it doesn't work like that. When you've got all the evidence to hand and you can show where it all came from and this, that and the other, and dates that they've changed these things over and whatever, it's very, very easy to hold these people to account. Now, I've said a while ago or whatever, I don't need money. Do you know what I mean? I have said anything that I do court-wise or whatever with these wankers, any money that comes from that, proceeds from that, I'll just donate it to charity, and I'll do that publicly or whatever. And once you've dealt with that and you've dealt with it in a financial court matter and whatever, do you know what I mean? Whatever happens after that, that's out of my control, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like I say, people like Eric, they've got many enemies. Anything could happen to him and he'd have about 50 fucking suspects straight away. Now, I've said, do you know what I mean? I won't need to go down any silly lines or whatever. I'll quite happily deal with it in a court situation, and at that point, do you know what I mean? Whatever anyone else does after that, that's up to them. Like I say, you got to be patient in this game or whatever. Yeah, I think Umbrella gets a bad rep with a lot of it, the way it's been angled, and she's sort of played into certain things or whatever, rightly or wrongly. But Kaylee's got a lot of information there to hand. That's why some time ago I offered to pay for all Kaylee's legal costs to take these wankers to task. I'd rather someone else did it, to be honest, to the point where I was happy to pay for it all. But yeah, these things get dealt with one way or the other regardless. It doesn't go away. There's no time limit on it or whatever, because it's still continuing. And when you show methodically that certain things are being given out to third party trolls and you can prove where it comes from, then that's really all you have to do. That is really all you have to do. And these people are then accountable, whether that be in a court situation or anything else. Realistically, there's your defence regardless. So now they know that, that's why they've tried changing hands of the site and this, that and the other. But the problem is, when you do it in plain sight of everybody, it's very easy to record these things and document who did what dates, blah blah blah. Very easy to fucking map out, if you like. So I think that's about it realistically. Like I say, there will be a premiere tonight. I think I've run out of notifications because I've already done 2, so this would be the 3rd one. I'll probably, to be fair, I'll probably run this as a premiere, and then off the back of that I'll put a pinned link which will be the next premiere that will be starting towards the end of this or whatever. So yeah, I think that's about it realistically. There's so much to pull out or whatever and re-air and remind people, jog people's memories of certain things and whatnot. So yeah, there's going to be loads and loads and loads to come out, to the point where you just bury your enemies in their own words, their own whatever. You don't have to go down the road of doxing and doing this, all this vile shit. That just makes you as low as them, and I'm not going to do that at any point fucking soon. So yeah, enjoy, look after each other, stay safe, and I'll catch you on the next one.